The Roman Republic did not end on the Ides of March. It ended years earlier, on a battlefield in Greece, under a dry summer sky, when one Roman army shattered another and proved that the Republic could no longer survive total victory. By the time Julius Caesar was stabbed in the Senate, the system he was accused of destroying had already ceased to function. His assassination did not restore the Republic. It confirmed that it could not be restored. To understand why, we have to begin before Caesar ever crossed the Rubicon, before civil war, before dictatorship, before the word emperor meant anything in Rome. For centuries, the Roman Republic had been built on a single fear: kings. Power was divided deliberately. 2 consuls instead of 1. Annual terms instead of life appointments. A Senate that advised but did not rule outright. Magistrates who could veto one another. Authority was fragmented by design. That system worked when Rome was a city-state surrounded by rivals. It began to strain when Rome became an empire. After defeating Carthage in the Punic Wars, Rome controlled the Mediterranean. Conquest brought unimaginable wealth, but not stability. Generals returned with loyal veterans and personal fortunes. Provinces became opportunities for enrichment. Elections grew violent. Political alliances became transactional. The Republic still had laws. It still had ceremonies. But the balance beneath them was shifting. The first real fracture came when generals discovered something dangerous. Armies could be loyal to men rather than to the state. Gaius Marius reformed military recruitment, allowing landless citizens to serve. Soldiers now depended on their commander for payment and retirement land. Loyalty followed benefit. Then came Lucius Cornelius Sulla. When the Senate attempted to strip Sulla of his command in 88 BCE, he marched his army on Rome itself, an act previously unthinkable. He seized the city, purged enemies, and ruled as dictator before voluntarily stepping down. Sulla proved something irreversible. The Republic could be taken by force, and then returned. The precedent mattered more than the resignation. Rome had normalized civil war as a political tool. By the time Julius Caesar entered the center of Roman politics, he was not inventing ambition. He was operating inside a system already weakened by it. Caesar was brilliant, but he was also deeply in debt and politically vulnerable. His alliance with Pompey the Great and Crassus, the first triumvirate, was less ideological than practical. Together, they bypassed the Senate's obstruction and consolidated influence. Then Crassus died. The balance collapsed. Caesar's conquest of Gaul transformed him from politician into something more dangerous, a commander adored by hardened legions. His victories brought wealth, glory, and loyalty that no civilian institution could counterbalance. The Senate grew afraid. In 50 BCE, Caesar was ordered to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. Without office, he would face prosecution from political enemies. With his army, he was untouchable. He chose not to disarm. When he crossed the Rubicon River in 49 BCE, he did not announce tyranny. He framed his action as defense against unlawful persecution. But symbolism mattered less than reality. A Roman general had entered Italy under arms. Civil war followed. Pompey and many senators fled to Greece, believing time and resources were on their side. Caesar moved quickly Spain, then across the Adriatic, forcing confrontation before Pompey's advantage could solidify. In 48 BCE, the 2 armies met near Pharsalus. Pompey had more men. He had the Senate's backing. He had legitimacy. But he hesitated, expecting Caesar to falter. Caesar did not. During the battle, Pompey relied on superior cavalry to break Caesar's right flank. Anticipating this, Caesar concealed a reserve force trained to target horsemen directly. When Pompey's cavalry advanced, Caesar's hidden line surged forward, striking at faces and eyes, disrupting momentum. The cavalry collapsed. Panic spread. Pompey's larger force unraveled. By nightfall, Caesar had won decisively. This was the moment the Republic became structurally unrecoverable. Until Pharsalus, there had been two power centers. After it, there was one. Pompey fled to Egypt, where he was assassinated. The Senate's military alternative was gone. No constitutional mechanism existed to manage a single dominant general with unmatched popular support and legions at his back. Caesar returned to Rome as victor. He did not declare himself king. In fact, he refused the title publicly when it was theatrically offered. But titles were not the issue. He accumulated offices. Dictator for increasing terms. Eventually dictator perpetuo, dictator for life. He reformed the calendar. He reorganized provincial governance. He reduced debt pressures. He extended citizenship. Many of these reforms were practical and overdue. But each reform had a hidden cost. By centralizing decision-making to prevent paralysis, he made the Senate ceremonial. By pardoning enemies generously, he preserved individuals while hollowing institutions. By concentrating authority to stabilize Rome, he demonstrated that stability depended on him. The Republic had been designed to function through rivalry and rotation. It now functioned through singular dominance. Could Caesar have stepped down? In theory, yes. In practice, unlikely. The precedents were against him. Sulla had stepped down, but only after brutal purges and temporary dictatorship. Caesar faced a Senate that feared him and factions that would prosecute him the moment he relinquished protection. His clemency did not erase hostility. It delayed it. The system no longer allowed safe exit. This is what became clear only later. Caesar's greatest victory did not just defeat an opponent. It removed the Republic's capacity for balance. The assassins who gathered in 44 BCE believed they were correcting a deviation. They saw themselves as defenders of tradition. Brutus, in particular, believed that removing the man would restore the constitution. But they had misread the situation. The Republic had already adjusted to one-man dominance. Armies remained loyal to commanders. Political violence was normalized. The populace was accustomed to charismatic authority. When Caesar was killed, the system did not reset. It convulsed. Power did not return to the Senate. It fragmented again, this time between Mark Antony and the young Octavian. Another round of civil wars followed. Proscriptions returned. More Romans were killed by Romans. The assassins had eliminated Caesar, but not the structural conditions that had made him inevitable. Octavian, later Augustus, learned from Caesar's failure. He retained ultimate authority while preserving republican forms. Consuls were still elected. The Senate still met. Magistracies still existed. But ultimate power rested quietly in one pair of hands. The Republic survived in appearance. In reality, it had transformed into empire. What Pharsalus revealed was not that Caesar was unstoppable. It revealed that Rome's expansion had outgrown its political architecture. A city-state system had been stretched across a Mediterranean empire. Rival generals commanded continental armies. Wealth disparities fueled unrest. Competition escalated beyond institutional containment. The Republic could survive ambition. It could survive rivalry. It could even survive civil war. What it could not survive was a decisive victory that left no counterweight. Caesar did not destroy the Republic by declaring himself king. He destroyed it by winning so completely that no constitutional balance remained possible. By the time he fell beneath the senators' blades, the Republic was already an idea without a mechanism. His assassination did not end a tyranny. It confirmed a transition. Rome did not choose monarchy because it wanted one. It accepted singular rule because the alternative had become perpetual war. Caesar's greatest victory proved that the Republic could not govern the world it had created. And once that truth was exposed, there was no returning to what Rome had once been.